Right, this is a quick walk around video. This is for a Honda Civic 1.8 SE. This particular car has had it shows two owners, but it's actually the same family that's owned it from new, same address. So I'm guessing it's kind of husband and wife and registered from one to the other. So effectively it is just the one owner, but we have to say it's two registered keepers. This is the facelift model. You can tell that by the vents put into the grille on the front of these later cars, plus some other things, colour coding and all sorts of stuff. But the car's really nice. I apologise, it's a bit windy today, so the mic might be a bit fluffy now and again. But the bonnet itself, very, very, very clean, hardly a stone chip of any note on there at all. Come to the near side of the vehicle first. Really, really clean in the panel work. The whole car's been kept very, very nicely. Front near side wing, clean as a whistle. Front alloy really good. Those white marks you can see on the tyres, they're actually brand new tyres, just been fitted, so it's not marks on the alloy, it's just the paste, which I forgot to get off, so I do apologise. So panel work down this side again, really, really clean. Rear alloy completely unmarked. Around the back of the car. This car's had parking sensors fitted to it at some point, and they're all fully functioning at this stage. And then you're to the offside of the vehicle, which again, very, very clean little panel work. It's not to say you won't find the odd minor little mark. There will be that the camera hasn't picked up or I haven't seen, so please do bear that in mind. Rear alloy again, clean as a whistle, and then the remainder of the panels, very, very clean. I did see a tiny little dimple dent. I'll try and find it for you. I think it's just there, but it is minuscule. But I do try and find them where I can. Final front wheel there, clean as a whistle. So externally, the car's in really, really nice condition. So coming to the boot area of the car, absolutely huge boot in here. Really is. Really nice condition as well in the back. It's all been kept really, really nicely by the last owner. And underneath there you've obviously got that extra hidden storage space. If you give it a yank, it just drops down into place, and then you've got another 6 or 7 inches of boot depth there as well. So coming to the back of the car now. This is with the seats in the vertical position at the back, which forms part of this magic seats on the Hondas. It's such a brilliant idea. Obviously you can do it side to side, you don't have to have them both up at the same time. To lower them, literally just pull the lever up, drop it down, and do exactly the same on the other side. It's just ingenious. Just to show you, obviously huge amount of leg room, and the seats in the back here are in really lovely condition. Apologise, it's a bit dark. I'm trying to do this in the shade because it's the sun plays merry hell with the videos when you try and do interiors. Coming to the front now, driver's door card, as with all the others, in lovely condition. Footwell area is all incredibly clean and tidy. And the front passenger seat there in excellent condition. Let's come into the driver's door panel, again all very, very clean and tidy. The footwell areas again really, really clean. The front passenger seat, driver's seat again in very good condition with only the tiniest amount of wear which you'd expect, but hardly noticeable at all. So inside the car now, engine's running through this section of the video, so you can see the dashboard illuminated. Just check for warning lights. The dashboard's in lovely condition again. So you can tell it's the new style ones, as I say in the following road test video. Just the plastics around the door handles and the gear lever there are all different style, as is the textured finish up around by the climate control buttons there. And then this wonderful, wonderful dashboard, absolutely brilliant. You should set driving position about there, so you've got the steering wheel rim between the two readouts, but just so clever. Pan in there, hopefully you can see it, 60,398 miles, and there's absolutely no warning lights in this vehicle whatsoever. Finally, just to come under the engine bay, What a beautifully presented engine bay it is, as you'd expect from Honda. Cam chain driven engines, of course. Just a wonderful, wonderful unit. More of which in the following road test video. Right then, this is a road test video, and this is for a Honda Civic 1.8 SE. This particular car is registered NL59JVT, and mileage at the start of the road test is 60,377 miles. Reason we do these road tests is so customers get to see the actual car we're selling in operation. We feel it's important, if people are willing to travel great distances to come and see us, that the least we can do is put some effort in to show you the cars, but more importantly to bring up any issues there might be on the car so that you know about them before you set off to come see us. The road tests are also done on the same very quiet country roads just outside our premises. Hopefully you won't have a Land Rover just swing out in front of you as I've just had, but there we go. But hopefully it would mean you'd be representative of what you'll feel yourself offered a test drive on the car. Coming to the car itself, just a brief background, as you probably already know. Very, very, very well maintained car. It really has been. Engine starts absolutely instantly. The settles look completely smooth and even idle. And it's a wonderful unit. They're very flexible engines, sweet in nature, very keen to rev, but very docile. It's just got a lovely sweet note. Everything about this engine's absolutely fantastic. They're incredibly tough and durable in terms of how reliable they are. Everyone knows that in the trade. It's just got a wonderful reputation for it. Cam chain driven, of course, so there's no cam belts on these cars to worry about either. Worth pointing out, absolutely no warning lights on the dashboard at all relating to the engine or any other part of the vehicle. Also, temperature gauge, and the car's been running for some time now, is running as a third, which is exactly the way where it should be on the temperature gauge on a Honda car, petrol, diesel or otherwise. Engine then goes through clutch and into gearbox. Clutch on the car, smooth, quiet in operation. Bike point is exactly where it should be on one of these cars, so all in fine order. 6-speed gearbox in the vehicles, I've always gone on about them on these Civics. I think it's a simply brilliant gear change. It feels mechanical, even though obviously it's cables from here to the gearbox underneath, as most cars are these days at front wheel drive. But whereas some cars can feel a little bit vague and lifeless, these just feels incredibly precise. It's got a wonderful quality of synchro mesh, which means all the changes are really nice. Also the springing between the gates, so when you go from like 4th to 5th there, it naturally knows exactly where it's trying to get to. So it's all but impossible to get lost in the gear change, the gearbox. It really is, and I can't feel anywhere in the gear change at all. It feels tight and crisp, and as it ever will have done from new. So in terms of sort of powertrain of the vehicle, all absolutely spot on. Steering on these cars is a real strong point of theirs. It's a wonderfully set up power steering system, very precise, very quick, feels tight and taut in hand without any feeling of any wear in it. There's no vibrations coming back to the steering wheel at all at this or any speed up to the legal limit, the speed I'm allowed to drive. Track's absolutely bullet straight. It just feels what it is, which is a really well done power steering system. It's got a kind of a lovely weight to it. It's not overlight, it's not too heavy, and it's matched perfectly to the chassis of the vehicle in terms of the speed of the rack and the number of turns lock to lock. Chassis of the vehicle, likewise, has a really lovely agility to it. If you enjoy your driving, you'll still enjoy driving these. It might just be a family car, but it actually has got kind of a verve and vigour to it, which pretty much unmatched in the class, in all honesty. The ride is far more comfortable than any motor magazine will ever admit to. It's perfectly acceptable, only caught out by the sharpest of ridges. And ride comfort, as we all know, is subjective. If ride comfort's a soft, pillowy ride on the straight ahead, but then you get to the corners and it flops around and flings you from side to side, I don't particularly find that comfortable. But as I said, these things are subjective, and I know about it. I know that rather. Also worth pointing out that when I do these road tests, what I'm looking for is any kind of signs of mechanical wear underneath. But there's nothing at all on this one. It feels, as I said, it's got no sort of clonks, bangs, or anything from underneath the car. Also noticeable when you drive the car, even up to legal limit, they are very quiet cars actually in operation. Obviously then that could be easily ruined if you had kind of a damaged windscreen or door seal, but there's no wind noise, there's no wind hiss getting into the car that shouldn't be there. Brakes on the car, nice solid brake pedal on the car. It pulls down straight and true. There's no kind of vibrations or pulsing coming back through the brake pedal either, which is a sign all is in good order. Worth pointing out, the cars later today hopefully will be going through a full service and pre-delivery inspection, which will check up on all these things. Literally, so the wheels will come off the car to check all the the functions of the car, the brakes, suspension, etc. And it'll also be going for an independent MOT. We don't do our own MOTs. In a couple of days' time, so obviously it's going to be given a thorough check over anyway, but it drives beautifully as it is, in all honesty. Looking around inside the car, I love these interiors, absolutely love them. It's beautifully made. Being the facelift model, immediately you can tell that, because round here used to be kind of a shiny gloss plastic, which looked fantastic when it was new. But unfortunately, sort of fingers getting on top or light scratches could make them look a little bit grubby. So this textured finish was introduced and is far harder wearing, and is all the better for it. But it's in lovely condition. It's not been cleaned yet. It will be cleaned, but it's in, it's just, there's not a murmur, squeak, buzz, nothing from the interior of the car. All in fine order in here. But it's also just such a lovely place to sit and operate a car from. It really is. It's got genuine style to it. This car, believe it or not this particular one, of course, they were first registered in the earlier ones in 2005, believe it or not, on 55 plates. So that that makes this design sort of nearly 13 years old, and yet you would never actually believe it. It's just got such a lovely, it's got a freshness of design, and so different to pretty much everything or anything that was in its class at the time. It's actually an interesting place to sit and operate a car from, which is so rare. Normally you get the usual kind of binnacle here, centre stack here, and then just variations on the same theme, basically. Whereas this could be nothing other than a Civic, and that's, as cliched as it sounds, it's a proper Marmite thing. We will like it or you won't. So I'm not expecting everyone to like it. I think it's genius, because not only is it stylish, it's functional. The high up displays on there means you're hardly taking your eyes off the road to take in the most basic of information. Whereas on some cars you kind of have to stoop, take your eyes off the road for a few seconds, less than a second, but you know what I mean. And it can be distracting, whereas this isn't. And at night, it just is fantastic when it's all illuminated. It's a wonderful design, way ahead of its time. The point of these videos, as I said right from the outset, is very simple, is actually to pick up some issues on the car. There's nothing on this. and that's not to say that I wouldn't try. I've done it on many of my previous videos, I've mentioned things, but there's nothing on this one at all. Air conditioning's pumping out absolutely ice cold air, and it's quite a warm morning already. All the displays, all the pixelation, everything's exactly as it should be. Every switch button I've pressed has worked perfectly. However, if I've missed something on the video, as always, please don't hesitate, do give us a call, and I'll happily answer any questions you might have about this car.